are some of the things that your team observes that is not working when it comes to workplace wellness?
Yeah, I think one pitfall sometimes leaders fall into is, especially if they have some sort of wellness program platform, is expecting the platform to just kind of run itself, giving it over to employees and, expecting them to stay on top of it. I think it's really important for admins and program leaders to keep reminding employees about the program and also communicating the why behind the program, any health benefits they could gain or incentives that are being offered. Um, and also another pitfall that I see sometimes is putting pressure, on employees to participate. And I know that, wellness leaders, I think they have good intentions, wanting people to be healthy and stay on top of their preventive care. But I think sometimes putting pressure or singling someone out has the opposite effect. They might, interpret that as an invasion of their privacy or kind of overstepping a little bit.
Would you say it's the same thing, Amanda? Are there different things that you've seen in your experience?
Yeah, I think when introducing a program, right out of the gates, introducing it as a have to program.
Mhm.
It's human nature. We don't want to be told what to do. We want choice. So really giving your employees a choice, maybe having them help create your program, ask them what they want. And another one, I know some people like to, but maybe staying away from like required items, or if it's important to your organization, maybe making it required in a more subtle way. Maybe it's worth more points, or a stepping stone to enter your program, something that a little less harsh than required.
Yes, I agree with you that that choice is a huge
Mhm.
factor in engagement. I feel like when we first started Motion Connected 15 years ago, there were a lot of have-to programs. Take a
Yep.
biometric, attend a lunch and learn, and we will give you all this money. And it's been nice to see through the years wellness get more holistic and more individualized for employees.
Hmm.
How
Yeah.
would you say that leaders can help have employees develop program? That's interesting thought to me. What ways have you seen that employees actually help to direct where a program goes?
I'm a fan of surveys. I
Hmm.
think surveys can go a long way. Ask them what they want to see in a program. Are they participating? If they're not, how come? What would get them to participate in the program?
That's a great suggestion. I think we also sometimes see clients tap into their employees if they have any special skills.
Hmm.
I've seen things like on-site yoga being offered by a teacher who's a teacher and also a yoga instructor. Or I think we just had one the other day too, Adriana, where uh, someone giving a cooking class, I think, to other employees, which is so interesting.
Yeah, and fun.
Definitely fun. How about you, Kelly? Do you have some additional thoughts on this topic as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things when it comes to workplace wellness. There's so many different paths you can take, right? So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer on what you can do. But I mean, going along with what the both of them said, there are things that we kind of stay away from or try to not recommend so much. A couple of things that stand out to me are always awarding like the top person. So could be in, an activity challenge or even a like points-based structure for a wellness program. A lot of times, if you award the same person or award the top person, it ends up being the same person, right, over time that we see, being the highest achiever. And it can tend to maybe like not motivate those other employees so much along the way. So kind of just finding a way to award people, if they meet a certain goal versus if they're doing the best overall. And then another one is just to not drag things out for like a really long period of time. So for a step challenge is a great example here too. Doing something for 6 months, at the very beginning, we'd see really high engagement. Everyone would be very excited, but maybe towards the end of it, you see a lot of drop off or burnout and stuff for those employees. So keeping things kind of short and sweet is always better.
Do you guys have a recommendation of what would be the ideal amount of time to run an initiative or a step challenge? Maybe a time frame?
Yeah, I mean, I think for like a step challenge, we try to keep it between like 2 to 6 weeks.
Mhm.
6 weeks would be at the high end for sure. I think anything, longer than that, somebody might have a hard time, especially if it's like a really high step goal you're working towards too. Like you kind of just get tired, you get burnt out, like I said. So yeah, I think 2 to 6 weeks is really good.